Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Bree Farron. I'm the Communications Coordinator for America250PA. And in observation and celebration of Black History Month, I am honored to have here with me today the Auditor General of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Timothy DeFoor. Auditor General, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Bree. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely, me too. So can you start off? I would love to hear your Pennsylvania story. Could you reflect on your experiences leading up to your position as the Auditor General?
The best way to describe my story to getting here was a life unexpected. I didn't have any no wants to get into politics. And if you could write a book about my story, it would be, how did the shy kid who hated math end up being Pennsylvania's 52nd Auditor General? I worked from the bottom up, and I worked hard. And when you do that, and stay focused on what you're doing, stay true to yourself, it's amazing what can happen to you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Now, you made history. Essentially, you became the first African-American row officer in Pennsylvania. Can you explain what that historic achievement meant to you personally?
There's no way to explain it. I still can't believe it myself. And it goes to show you that when a person, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless of political party affiliation, when you go out and you do the right thing because you know it's the right thing to do, and you focus on what you need to do, you'll be surprised what can happen. Everything else will take care of itself. You go through life and you have ups and downs. And eventually things kind of balance itself out, but you have to remain focused, and you have to have a good heart and be a good person, but focus on what is right in front of you. And then if you do those things, everything else will take care of itself. And that's how I view my me ultimately becoming Auditor General, from somebody whose political career started less than 10 years ago. Started back in 2015 when I first ran for Dauphin County Controller. And I had no political ambition to run for that. I had no political ambition to run for this. But ultimately, one thing led to another, and here I am. So I'm very, very grateful, very, very fortunate that it happened.
So you sort of touched on your journey there. Can you explain what your greatest source of inspiration has been and who some of your personal role models are?
My greatest source of inspiration would have been, without a doubt, my parents. They worked hard. At times, my mom would have had 2 jobs, my dad would have 3. They were raising 6 kids, and I saw how hard they worked. So one of the things that I promised myself at the very young age, one, I would work to do what I needed to do in order to be successful. But also I realized, because of what they taught me, I also had to give back to the community. I really can't, with the exception of my parents, there's so many individuals, so many people in my life that have helped me, from teachers to coaches, other people involved with politics, my staff here, who've helped me become the person that I am. So I am in debt to a lot of people, and especially being African American, as we're celebrating Black History Month, there are others who have come before me. They paved the way for me. They've paved the way so a person like me could walk into a building without being discriminated against. So I also owe it to them as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate you sharing that. Kind of looping back into the Black History Month conversation, can you explain what Black History Month means to you personally?
It means learning. It means understanding the struggles and the successes of African Americans, not only here in Pennsylvania, but countrywide, where we've come together, we've uplifted each other. We've worked to build a better community for ourselves and for our family.
So to build onto that, how can Pennsylvanians observe Black History Month in a meaningful way?
Learn about it. You don't have to take in everything at once, but just take a small piece of history. For example, start with wherever you live, wherever you're from. Start within your community. Understand the Blacks and the African Americans who came from that community, what they went through, what they developed. Learn a little bit about that. And then so once you expand on where you're from, then expand out to others. So just to learn, take the opportunity to learn, ask questions.
Absolutely. Now, knowing what you know now, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give yourself?
Be patient. Be patient. Don't let other individuals define your life. You define your life.
Very great advice. So I know you are familiar with America250PA's mission, being one of our ex officio commissioners. I was wondering what your thoughts are. What are you most looking forward to as we lead up to the 250th anniversary of the United States?
That's what I'm looking forward to, the celebration, how all this comes together. And being a commissioner, watching all the pieces and actually learning myself about some things about Pennsylvania and African American history that I did not know. I mean, I minored in history in college with a concentration on African American history, but I constantly find myself learning new things. So I'm looking forward to the celebration, all the work that everybody has done since I've been part of the commission, and looking forward to getting together with all those people and just celebrating the 250th.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hopefully one day meeting you in person as well. I know it's virtually, we've been doing a lot of stuff, but coming together will be a very great event eventually.
Without a doubt.
So are there any other comments or advice that you give to people who are watching today? This is an open platform for you to share anything that you would like to share.
Yeah, just and it goes back to what I said earlier, just to learn about not only African American history in Pennsylvania, but about history, how it really was. One thing about history, there were some things that were not so good, and then there are some things that were good. But the more we learn about it, the more we understand one another and what makes us such a great state. So learn as much as you possibly can, but also ask questions. I was one of those kids growing up that I would always ask why. People would get sick of it. But there's nothing wrong with asking it. If there's a question that somebody has about history, ask the question. And don't stop asking questions. Don't stop learning.
Very well said. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else before we conclude?
No, that's it. Again, I look forward to meeting you one day, and I look forward to the celebration because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to it as well. Well, thank you so much again, Auditor General, for taking the time and sharing your experience and perspective. We greatly appreciate it. And for anybody who is interested in learning more about America250PA and the Auditor General, we encourage you to visit our website at www.america250pa.org and to follow us on social media where you're likely watching this content right now. So we encourage you to engage with us and join us and become a part of history. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.